What's up, YouTube? Excuse me. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, and I already know why you're here. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, and your desktops, and you're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture. You are in the right place. Listen, guys, this is the second video of a 7-part series on female attraction. I'm excited about this series, and I feel like it's going to give you some practical advice on how to balance female attraction with retaining your seed. Now, I know you guys have seen the title, Faith Without Works is Dead. Faith without works is dead. And you're probably wondering, how is he going to connect faith without works is dead to female attraction? Well, let's get started. Make sure you watch this video all the way through the end, because I believe it's going to give you some valuable information on female attraction. Now, faith without works is dead is basically just saying, don't expect to have a Proverbs 31 woman. Don't expect to have to be in a relationship, a healthy, godly, beautiful relationship with a female if you don't have any works. Works in this particular scenario is approaching women, right? If you're a man, you're almost, you just have to approach women. You can't just sit on the sidelines and expect a woman to come to you, right? It's very rare, and it's not in their DNA to do that. So you're going to have to approach women when you feel a vibe, when you feel or you see and you're trying to inquire about a particular female, you're going to have to approach. And what you have to understand about approaching women is it's nothing wrong with approaching women. It's the intent behind the approach. Let me repeat that. There is nothing wrong with approaching women. It is the intent behind the approach. So when you approach a woman, what you're doing is you're trying to inquire about her. You're trying to get more information, right? You want to figure out if she's in a relationship. You want to figure out if she's married. You want to figure out what's her story, because before you go all in, before you try to, get to know this woman or try to court this woman or try to date this woman, you want to get these particulars out the way. So you have to approach women. But again, it's the intent behind the approach. Now, I want to give a caveat here, right? And the caveat I want to give is you guys need to be very careful with this video, okay? Because I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I'm not telling you to go out every weekend and go to places where you're going to meet women who are more than likely not going to be what you are looking for, right? What I am seeing is when you're out about your day, you're going places, work functions, business network meetings, wherever you're going, the gym, working out, right? You might see a particular female who catches your eye and you want to inquire about her, right? The reason you're inquiring is because you want to know if it's a safe zone for you to proceed. If it's a safe zone for you to continue conversation, if it's a safe zone for you to ask for her number, if it's a safe zone for you to ask her out on a date and whatnot. You have to inquire. You have to approach in order to get to this point. But you can believe for a Proverbs 31 woman all you want, right? And I'm not saying God can't just send somebody to you and to knock on your door and they'll be like, hey, I'm the one. And, but that's typically not how it works. And as a man, you shouldn't really be looking for that to happen anyway. Okay. But let me give you just a framework for approaching women. Number one, if you're retaining your seed, you should be retaining your seed. You should be holding your nuts. You should be free and clear of desecrating keyboards, laptops, and desktops. If you are holding your seed, There's no reason you should lack any confidence in being able to approach a woman, because the holding your seed, allowing that sexual energy to enter into your nutsack and to reverberate throughout your body and be used for purposes other than desecrating keyboards, laptops, and desktops, you should have the confidence to be able to go up to women and approach. Why? Because you haven't depleted yourself watching porn. You haven't messed up your mind to the point to where you don't have a natural sense of arousal. Okay? I told you guys in the last video, there's nothing wrong with attraction, or there's nothing wrong with arousal, but these things have to be within the framework for how God wants them to work, right? If you're getting aroused by watching porn, then that's not a good arousal. If you're getting aroused by beating your meat and having wicked imaginations, then obviously that's not a good arousal, right? But if you see a woman, it's natural to see a woman and be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying, right? But as long as you are able to control your thoughts, you have to control where your mind goes when you see this woman, because there's a thin line, right? It's not even a thin line, right? When those thoughts come to you, you have to control them so they don't take you to places that are going to cause you to dishonor God. Remember, all of your thoughts, everything that you think about, the intentions of your heart are laid bare before God. That's Job chapter 31. We talked about that, in a couple of videos ago, right? So you have to guard your thoughts. So when you approach a woman, you should already have the confidence, because you haven't depleted yourself, right? And you haven't messed up your mind by watching porn with all of these unrealistic expectations about women. You should have the confidence, right? And listen, put your best foot forward, right? And when you have confidence, here's what you got to understand, man, about confidence. Confidence is not thinking that you're better than someone else. It's not what confidence is. Confidence is not having the need to compare yourself to anyone, right? You are fully immersed in you, what God is doing with you, what your purpose is, and you're driven and you're focused on that, right? So that is the framework for your confidence. So when you go up and approach a woman, even if you don't have your best fit on, even if you're not looking your best, doesn't matter, man. If you see a woman and you think, maybe you want to inquire about this woman, approach the woman. Ask her the questions that you need to ask her, and try to figure out if this is a woman that you should pursue, right? If she starts talking to you and she starts entertaining you, then you have to ask her those questions. You have to get that phone number. You have to ask those questions. So when you get the phone number, or whatever Instagram she has, or whatever social media she has, when you begin to communicate with this woman, you need to be getting vital information so you don't fall into the trap of talking to a woman who is married. Because I'm telling you, they're out here, they're married, and they don't have rings on their finger. Okay? Whether you know they're married or not, it still will bring a curse on you. So you have to do your due diligence, and you have to pray and ask God to give you a way of escape. He will not willingly allow you to fall into a trap that you're not looking to fall into. But you have to be honest with God, and you have to be pure in your heart and your intentions. Okay, so guys, if you want a Proverbs 31 woman, you're going to have to approach. Now, here's the thing. Don't go to clubs and bars and these type of places to meet women. And I'm not saying that if you go to a bar, you won't meet a nice woman there. But in most cases, I'm telling you, these are not the places where you're going to find a Proverbs 31 woman, bro. You don't want a drunkard. You feel me? And I'm telling you, man, I've lived this life. Most women at the bar, if they're there alone for a reason. Okay? Or if they're there with their girls, they're there at the bar for a reason. Okay? You have to understand this. You have to put yourself in positions to meet women in places that is not predicated on predicated on self-medication. Club is self-medication. People go to a club to feel good. They want to forget their life, so they show up at a club, right? Going to the bar. Men and women go to the bar to self-medicate. They want to forget their life. A hookah lounge. People are going to hookah lounge to self-medicate, right? They want to catch a vibe and forget their life. So these are not the places where you would want to go to find women. You don't want to go to places where people are naturally self-medicating, okay? Because the self-medication is pointing to a problem that you're not aware of, okay? So I would say just keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. If you're looking for that special one, church is a good place to go, obviously. But we know church girls, you know, they get loose too. So you still have to do your, the good thing about going to church to find a girl is at least God's around that situation somewhere, even if they're not all the way with God, right? And here's the thing, you have to go to a place where you can't go to old people's church if you're looking for if you're looking for somebody your age or relatively close to your age, right? You're going to have to go to a church where people are your age, but at the same time, you don't want to go to a place where they're preaching heresy is dead and, you know, you're not really going to get fed. But I understand, like, if you're out on the prowl and you're looking for your spouse, you have to go to places where women are not self-medicating, okay? Now, here's the thing. Let me also give another caveat. I don't want you to walk away from this video thinking that you just go out and start making your main mission to approach women to find your Proverbs 31. You don't have to overdo it, right? All you have to do is just keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. And when you see an opportunity, you see something that interests you, you go and you approach. You approach, right? But don't make this your life's mission. God will bring this woman into your pathway. Again, I have to say this. Don't expect God to give you a Proverbs 31 woman if you're living a dirty life. God is not going to give you a wholesome, beautiful, good-hearted female for you to be watching porn when she rolls over, right? God is not going to give you a beautiful, wholesome woman for you to idolize these tater tots on TikTok, on Instagram. He's not going to give you a beautiful woman, a godly woman, a God-fearing woman if you're living a dirty life, if you're fornicating, if you're committing adultery, if you're just living a dirty life, man. You're not going to get that. You're just not. You can't ask God for that. You can't. Has anyone ever went and asked their boss for a raise, knowing that they're the last on the team in sales, knowing that they're last on the team in quality, knowing that they're not pulling their weight, and they just go in and ask for a raise? You feel what I'm saying? People who ask for raises, they know they're putting in work. Listen, I'm the top salesperson for 3 years in a row, or I'm bringing in the most money to the firm, or, you know, they have a reason. They're like, man, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so I deserve a raise. So when you go and you ask God for this Proverbs 31 woman, you want to be able to say confidently, listen, I'm not watching porn. I'm not desiccating keyboards, laptops, and desktops. I'm not doing one-night stands. You know, I'm not falling out of clubs drunk and living a debased life. I'm not lurking at my neighbor's door. I'm not doing these things, right? You want to be a good man. You want to be a godly man, right? That's what you want to be. You want to be a godly man. So, guys, faith without works is dead. If you're sitting on the sideline thinking that this woman is just going to come up and approach you, you're living in a fairy tale. You're living a fairy tale, bro. You're not living in reality. Women, in most cases, will not approach you. There's very rare cases where women will approach. Now, this is what women will do. This is what they will do. women will give you choosing signals. So if you don't know how to read choosing signals, then I suggest you learn. I got a join button. You can hit the join button. I got a couple videos on, how to converse with the opposite sex. You can hit the join button and sign up for that exclusive content. I'm going to be putting more content on there. I'm just trying to figure out the right type of content to drop on that. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, go ahead and sign up. But women will give you choosing signals. And if you don't know how to read choosing signals, then it's going to be very hard for you to know when you can approach and when not. This is pretty much a way to get almost 100% accuracy when you approach women, right? They'll let you know if it's okay to approach. Every now and then, you may be off. You may have interpreted the choosing signals wrong, but you have to understand this. I just give you guys a couple examples. You're out, you make eye contact with the female, right? You hold that eye contact, right? She looks away, okay? Never break eye contact with a woman. That's number one. You just never do it, because if you break eye contact with a woman, then you've already elevated her over you, right? Now she's in a position above you. So never break eye contact with a woman. And number two, why would you break eye contact with a woman? That makes no sense. Okay, now don't be a creep. Please, guys, don't be a creep. Don't be out here just staring people down. There's a science and it's an art to this. Okay, so you make eye contact. She breaks away. You catch her looking at you again, right? You guys lock eyes. If you guys lock eyes twice, it's pretty much okay to approach. I would approach that woman, right? Approach, inquire about this woman. What you're looking for is the qualities of a godly woman. I cannot stress this enough. You're looking for the qualities of a godly woman. How do you know those qualities? By reading the Bible, the Proverbs. The Proverbs is going to tell you. The Proverbs is going to tell you what you should be looking for. Right? When you get that social media, or you get any information about her, you can look at her social media and you can kind of get a glimpse. You can get a feel. You can get a vibe of what type of content she's putting out there. Why is she posting this picture? What is this picture saying? Right? Don't let these women fool you, man. They'll say it's art. They'll say all kind of things. But what they're really doing, they're posting that picture to get likes. If Instagram took away likes, and you couldn't see who liked it, you didn't know how many people liked it, there would be no incentive to post pictures, right? There would be no incentive. These women post these pictures because they want likes, they want validation, okay? So just make sure you're looking for a godly woman. Other choosing signals, man. If a woman, if a woman finds a way to have a conversation with you, it could be anything, man. Women will do anything to kind of like put themselves in position to be. If you find a woman putting herself in position to be in your vicinity, you already know she's interested. If she's putting herself in position to be in your vicinity, so whatever type of setting it is, if it's a work setting, a business meeting, networking meeting, wherever it is. It could be the grocery store. It could be the gym. If they're going out of their way to put themselves in your vicinity, there's a good chance that this woman wants you to approach her. So women will do everything they can to let you know it's a safe zone. I want you to approach. I want you to speak to me. And you go and you approach. Again, I have to keep stressing this. Guys, I'm just giving you practical ways to approach women, right? What to look for as far as choosing signals. And then you also have to have what God says you should be looking for in a godly woman. Okay? But choosing signals are just these little subtle things that women do to let you know it's okay to approach. If a woman smiles at you, now a smile can get you, can be confusing, because some women will smile at you and they'll smile at everyone, right? Some women are nice to everyone, and when you think this woman is being nice to you and just like overly complimentary, you might think like, oh, she's giving you she's telling you that you can approach. May not be the case, because you don't understand at this moment. You don't understand the personality of the person yet. They could just be being nice, and this is how they are with everyone. So sometimes these signs can get confusing, but eye contact multiple times, a woman trying to put herself in your vicinity, these are signs, indicators that this woman is saying it's okay to approach. Any type of conversation where you're passing or you're in an interaction with the female, and you can tell like she's trying to make the conversation last longer, then you already know. You can go ahead and ask for that phone number and, get that social media and get to doing your detective work to find out who this person is, to see if this is someone you should be pursuing. Here's the key, guys. Here's the key to this. Don't overdo it and don't overemphasize it. I just want you to keep your eyes open and understand that you have to approach women on female attraction. Number two, when you approach these women, if you're retaining your seed and your mind is being renewed by God's word daily, and you're not filled with lust, and you're not looking at her like you want to beat her brains in, and you're not undressing her with your eyes, you want to inquire about her. You want to see who she is, right? You're interested. There's a mystique about her. She's mysterious, and you want to uncover that mystique about her, right? This is what you're doing. You want to figure out who she is to see if this is something that you should be pursuing. Okay, you want to see if this is something you should be pursuing. So just make sure, guys, that you are not out here wasting your time. That's the reason why you have to be able to ask these women certain questions. I'm a sales guy. I've been in sales pretty much my whole life. It's been told to me that I'm a very talented salesperson. I'm very persuasive. So I do understand things you can say, ways you can frame your questions to women in order to get the information you need out of them. You guys, you gotta become better conversationalists, right? When you're talking to women, she should be doing most of the talking. That's just a rule. The woman should be doing most of the talking, and you should be doing most of the listening. When you start interacting with the female, if you're doing most of the talking, man, I guarantee you this woman is going to be losing interest in you. Her attraction level for you is going to go down, because that's not how women are built, right? Women want to talk to you. They want you to listen to them. That's just what they want. That's how they're built, right? And it's good for it to be that way, because you get to, the reason they're talking to you, the reason they're expressing themselves to you is because at some point they do want you to offer some advice, but that is also a skill, right? You have to know how to interject, drop a little salt, and then back out and allow them to continue to speak. When a woman feels like you're listening to her, she will open up to you. Relationships break down because of lack of communication. People get comfortable, communication breaks down, and the next thing you know, this woman is seeking to express herself in a natural way. But in this particular sense, it's ungodly, because she's going outside of the scope of a relationship to do this in order to fulfill a desire. That's what I was talking about, emotional entertainment. People want to be emotionally entertained when their needs are not being met. Okay, so what's some other things that right? So you gotta know how to conversate with women. You have to know how to ask. You got to know how to frame questions, right? You have to ask open-ended questions. And one of the things that you have to get accustomed to is saying, things like, tell me more about that, right? Or, a woman, she's telling you something about something she did, and you'll say something like, you seem like, you know what I mean? You always want to say you seem like, that way if you're wrong, they can interpret what you said, correct what you said, without you directly saying you are this or you are that, right? Seems like you're a kind-hearted person, and you just stop, right? You've complimented her. You made an assessment about what she's been telling you, okay? And she feels like you're listening to her, right? And then when you say you seem like you're a kind-hearted person or whatever you want to say, they will tend to give you more information about that, or take you to a past time, or tell you why your assumption is correct. Okay, I'm trying to really get this information in this video because, like I said, I'm doing 7 of these videos, and I don't want any stone to be left unturned. Okay, so I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you are still rocking with me, man, hit the like button for your boy if you haven't. And if you've been watching my videos, man, go ahead and subscribe to the kid channel, man. We up in 23. So, yeah, so you have to learn how to be a better conversationalist when it comes to speaking with women. Don't overtalk, right? The reason you don't want to overtalk is because you want to leave a bit of mystery around you, okay? Usually what'll happen is a woman will say, I feel like I'm talking too much. And I'm sure you guys have heard that before. I feel like I'm talking too much, and then they'll start feeling bad, and then they'll want to ask you some questions. What you want to do in that situation is say something like this. Nah, I like hearing you talk, right? You want to encourage them. You want to let them know that this behavior is appreciated. This behavior is acceptable, right? You don't want to focus on you. You want to leave that date with them wondering still more about who you are. This is an art. This is a science to this. This is how this is done. Okay, but we're doing this now from a godly perspective. We're not doing this to get in them draws. You feel me? That's not why we're doing this. Please understand that. We're not doing this to drop them draws. That was the old life. The Bible says, if any man is in Christ, old things are passed away. Behold, all things have become new. We're seeking something higher. Okay, we're seeking something higher. So, yeah, man, become a better conversation. So one, you have to have the confidence to approach. You'll naturally get that if you're not, depleting yourself by whacking off and watching porn and all that type of stuff. Two, you have to know how to read choosing signals. You have to know when a woman is telling you it's okay to approach. When a woman is telling you it's okay to approach, she's saying it's okay. Come and talk to me. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to talk to women. There's nothing to be scared of. What are they going to do to you? Do not allow beauty to intimidate you. Allow it to inspire you, right? Being intimidated by beauty is a lack of self-confidence. It's a lack of self-confidence, right? You've seen guys who are not that good looking with beautiful women. A lot of times it could be because they have a lot of money, or it could be because they have a funny personality, or whatever the case may be. But in some way, shape, or form, this guy has something that makes up for his lack of looks, right? If you're a good-looking guy, and good-looking guys, like if that doesn't mean you don't fear women, right? I known guys who they're scared to approach, right? They don't